GM, GM, we're live. Good morning. We're on a big board. What do we see here? We've got Kevin. We've got our old friend Kevin here at pick 2. And I think that's about it. I joined this one and it basically snap-filled before I could alert all of you good people. But we'll see if Kevin swings by. But good morning to you, Who Hames. Appreciate you so much. Great stuff with Steve last night. You guys are just absolutely killing it in the afternoon hours. Appreciate you all so much. But can't wait to hop on with you at some point. We'll have to work something out sooner than later because it would be it'd be great to talk with you. I guess it might at this point have to be post combine. So we'll have a lot of new actionable stuff. Saturday we get our running backs, wide receivers running. I think on Friday we get the tight ends running. So we will have some 40 times and other information coming pretty soon. B. Grandy, GM to you. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Appreciate you so much for coming in, hanging out. Likewise, Tiger Uppercut. Good morning. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And yes, indeed, Kevin, I see you at the 2, taking Jahmyr Gibbs. Always nice to start your teams with one of those kind of, I feel like kind of big 4, Chase, Puka, Bijan, Gibbs. Getting 2 of those does seem pretty nice. We are now in the range. Do we take one of these wide receivers, or do we take a running back? I'll grab a CD Lamb share here. So we'll just go by ADP. I think that's what the machine was recommending. But we will get started here. We'll see what we can do at 16. Not going to make any structural promises in the first draft of the day, doing 0 RB or anything, but we'll see what happens. Hey, Ayland, GM brother, drafting with you in the 1. I mean, I'm telling you, people get in these stream drafts and good things happen. Life just generally gets better, but appreciate you, Ayland. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Best of luck in the 1 hole. Man, it's going to be hard for me to remember your name. That Ayland corresponds with Jasper, but I do see 121 there, so maybe I can piece together the same number. I have to wonder, is that Jasper Canada, or is that just a unrelated name? But appreciate you, Jasper in Canada. Beautiful place. Had an unfortunate fire situation, but incredible, beautiful part of the world up there in Jasper. All right, let's see. What do we want to do? Do we want to go Drake London? Neighbors. Let's see. You know what? Let's take our first Malik Neighbors share of the big board. I have been out on him, and I got suckered in by all those great videos of him running and doing all kinds of stuff and looking good. So we'll see. I do want to be lighter on Neighbors. I don't know if I actually want to have like stone 0 of pretty much anyone in the second round. So we'll take a Neighbor share. Plus, we get a little divisional correlation here. Hey, Willie MM, hope you're having a great start to your day. Let's get after it, indeed. Good morning to you, Willie. Hope you're having a good start to your day. Al Boogie says someone slept in late. Unfortunately, I've had to start at 9 more than my normal 8:30 time. So it's sort of becoming the norm, these 9 a.m. starts, but we'll see. We'll see. The youngest member of the house controls everything. So when he wakes up, everyone wakes up, and if he sleeps in, well, we let him roll. Al Boogie, but though, GMT, I hope you're having a wonderful morning to you. Jasper, my mother was a jeweler, so made my middle name Jasper. Oh, that's a nice name. Jasper, Canada. Yeah, it's Jasper National Park. It's adjacent to Banff National Park. Just incredible scenery, just hiking, everything you could imagine. Beautiful. I've only been in the summer, though. I do know if you're into skiing and that sort of thing, I'm sure it's lovely, but I don't love the cold that much to necessarily explore it then, but it's absolutely incredible. Greg says GM to the gang. GM to you, Greg. Appreciate you so much. I hope you're doing okay with the revelations that we really might have Quinn Ewers day 1 starter. We'll see. I'm hoping this is just, I mean, what are you going to say? as a member of the coaching staff and management. Like, oh, we don't like this player that's on our roster who's like a second-year player. So I'm just hoping it is, just being nice to Quinn Ewers. No disrespect to him. He was competent, but I don't know if that's really, I want to go through a full season of that. Jets drop bombs. I have not made it to 500 subs. Last I saw, I was at 485. We're trying to get to 500 though. We're trying our best. If you're out there and you haven't subbed, just hit that sub button. We're so close. We are so close to 500 subs. All right, so we got Lamb. We got Neighbors. Probably not going to get Jacobs here. I would have taken Kyron. So now we have to decide, what do we want to do? We don't get Jacobs. Do we pull up Etienne to this spot? The machine wants us to take T. Higgins. I think I'm going to lean into this 0 RB and try to win the 1Z position with Josh Allen in this boat and go from there. So there goes Etienne. So we got Lamb, Neighbors, Allen. Lamb and Neighbors, though, I do agree more with pushing Allen in some cases because they're so easy to stack, and we like the quarterbacks with Dart and Dak. We could have tried to maybe get those guys around the 7th, but I do really like Josh Allen this year. I think we're getting a discount on him. So based on versus where we were taking him last year, because Elite QB really didn't work so well for us most weeks. Hey, Artillery Frost GMTU, hope you're having a great start to your day. Greg wants the full rebuild, tear it down. Ewers all season, A-chain at the deadline. Oh wow, that is a true teardown. Okay, so I honestly thought I was going to get Scatabo. And if I didn't get Scatabo, I'd get Javante. This is kind of panic stations here for this team. This is a 0 RB team, which is obviously what we meant to do from the start. So let's grab Garrett Wilson. Haven't taken a metric ton of him, so we'll see. I was on him earlier in the cycle, a little more than I have been, but I've seen a lot of mocks have the Jets taking a wide receiver. I really hope they don't do that. I feel like AD Mitchell is fine as wide receiver too. They have a lot more problems than that, but we'll see. We will see. PPR Tyler, I put 5 comments in the chat. None of them came up. Oh my God. They're censoring you, PPR Tyler. I don't know. The mods are out of control. But no, appreciate you so much, PPR Tyler. Finally get to watch your favorite morning streamer free. Well, absolutely. Absolutely, PPR Tyler. I hope things are going well. School today. I appreciate you so much for coming in, hanging out this morning. PPR Tyler, for those of you who do not know, is streaming 200 days in a row, possibly more. And that is an incredible feat. And he's actually really good at it. So you guys should tune into PPR Tyler when you can. If you don't sub to PPR Tyler, you absolutely should rectify that as soon as possible. I'll put his link here in the chat. If you guys don't sub to PPR Tyler, make sure you remedy that as soon as possible. All right, let's see. Anything interesting going on in this room? We've got our nemesis, Kevin. He has 3 running backs, 1 wide receiver, Gibbs, Hall. Kevin, for those of you who don't know, is one of our favorite boomers. And he still gets his news via the Sporting News magazine. And I don't think they've published an expose on Rashee Rice yet. So we see Rashee Rice go at pick 26. So we'll see, Kevin. I'm not as concerned about Rice not playing, but it is in the range of outcomes. And that said, no one's getting Rashee Rice at pick 47. So if you want to pair him with Breece and Hall, then this is where you have to take him. So I'm actually kind of okay taking him here sometimes, because otherwise you're just, instead of Gibbs, Hall, and Rice, you're going to have A-Chain, Hampton, and Rice. If Rice is the guy you need, then mix up who you're taking him with. But yes, he has fallen almost 12-ish, 10-ish picks, I think, in ADP. Wow, this is I have a 0 RB team that I was not planning on making a true 0 RB team. So here we go. PPR Tyler is twice as good as half PPR Tyler, 100%. Do not accept cheap imitations. Tiger uppercut. Rome Odunze goes, Carnell Tate. Wow, we're in this range here. I'll take I'm gonna take Lemon over Tate. For the reason that I'm very light on Tate, and this is my first Neighbors team, so I don't want to make this team a super oddball team. I've been taking Lemon over Tate. I've tried to back off that lately. But again, I don't want this team to be like a total outlier. Oh, we got the Orion's Belt here. I've been calling it. It's kind of a lame name, but when you get Lemon, Tate, and Tyson all in a row, if there was a big board drinking game, this is like a finish your drink. You see this happen sometimes. I think it's really funny because we just do not know where to put it. Kevin loves the sporting news. Of course you do, Kevin. It's where you get all your boxing and horse racing updates. All right, let's see. Pick 64. Do we pull up something like Ramondre because we are sad and desperate? I almost feel like we do. The machine says take another quarterback, live a little. Ugh. I don't know, guys. This is kind of killer. I will take Ramondre as RB1. I don't really love it, but I don't really want to take Drake May here. With all respect to the sidekick folks. Williams, I haven't noticed how often is the sidekick insisting you to draft elite tight end. You know what, Williams? I like barely even look at the sidekick in the first 2 rounds just because it for me it's just so much in an exercise in just taking the players at ADP or trying to pair a first and second round pick. I do think it likes them, but I don't know that it's pulling them ahead of anything. I was surprised to see they had Tyler Warren over Ramondre in that particular case. Graham says, just wondering because it's always asked for 4 tight ends, it seems like. Yeah. It does. It is very very live to give you 4 tight ends, for sure. For sure. I just assume I assume that it gets late in the draft, it's a matter that those tight ends it recommends, it thinks project the same points-wise as the receivers. And if it's something that could fill a flex or the onesie spot, it's like breaking ties or just thinks that the tight end makes sense. Which I don't necessarily disagree with. I mean, when you get down to like Pat Freiermuth versus, I don't know, like one of these clunker receivers down here, Christian Kirk, like in a given week, they're probably not going to project super differently. I mean, maybe you can quibble with the example I picked, but I think that's the general idea of that. Morning, Chad. Hey, morning to you, Chris. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Hope you're having a great start to your day. We are in these streets doing a 0 RB build. We started with Ramondre as RB1. We got locked out of running back at every single opportunity. The machine, however, is loving quarterback here. I mean, I could take Dak if B Hall does not. I mean, I could also take Dart. Both of these quarterbacks are here at pick 81 for me. This is, and it's interesting. It just put Mahomes over Dak. I'm not going to do that. I think when I have Lamb, I will break this tie to this stack here. So, could I have tried to push quarterback there? Yes, but I think I would have felt silly if I had missed out on one of those elite QB stacks. And now I can stop at 2 QBs if I want, which maybe this ends up being a 2 QB team with Dak and Allen, based on how I'm probably going to need 7 or 8 running backs to feel good about this running back situation I've put myself in. Normally for me, this is Pitts, but gosh, it's hard for me to pass on a running back in this position. And again, I'm stunned the sidekick is just recommending. I mean, it has a 3rd QB ranked ahead of the 1st running back there. I'm just not there. I'm going to take Tyler Algier because I don't think he's going to come back to me. And he's, I I think he's very live to end up as an RB1 somewhere. So let's grab Algier. For the audio listeners, this team is a 2-2-4-0. My God. Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, running backs of Ramondre and Tyler Algier, wide receivers of CD Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, and Mekhi Lemon. So kind of a wonky start, but, like to build some different textures in these teams so we're not repeatedly building the same thing over and over. Let's check in, though, on our friend Kevin. Kevin, what have you been up to? Gibbs, Hall, Rice, Judkins, Christian Watson, Byshell Tootin, and of course, for those of you who don't know, Kevin is the foremost Ricky Pearsall fan and enthusiast. So he takes Ricky Pearsall. We'll see what he does. Grabs Pittman. And our new friend Jasper, he takes Addison and Jadarian Price. Like the team that Jasper has from the one hole, Bijan, Olave, AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, Luther Burden, gets Caleb at the turn to pair with Burden. A mini fall in Caleb, kind of nice there. Tyler Warren, Jordan Addison, and Jadarian Price. And Kevin adds Bo Nix to his team. Aylin says, when you click Josh Allen, do we bother stacking him? I'll click Kincaid, but never Shakir. I actually like Shakir this year. I think I'm in the minority of people who stream best ball content in saying that. I think he's just run kind of bad in touchdowns, and we've just pigeonholed into this guy who can't have a ceiling. But he gets a lot of targets. Why can't those be touchdowns one day? I just feel like he's just gotten a little unlucky. But maybe, I feel like sometimes we say these players don't have ceilings until they do. So I will take plenty of Shakir myself. But again, that is not the consensus. Kincaid is fine. I take Kincaid too. But when they're back to back, I've been taking Shakir over Kincaid for myself. I can't believe it's recommending a fifth receiver over Dowdle. I feel like not taking Dowdle is this is just something where I just disagree with the sidekick. Dowdle is live to end up also as an RB1 somewhere, and I went 0 RB. So I'm gonna IKB that one too, with all due respect to our to the machine here. Who Ames is overweight at Shakir at 112. All right, here we go. So Who Ames also okay with Shakir. Kincaid would have been, again, we might have run into that position at 112 had this player not taken Kincaid. I would have liked to, but I think running back was my priority on this team. We'll see. And I think honestly, this is probably going to be another Kincaid click. A Shakir click. The sidekick actually has bumped it to the top over, the 8 picks of ADP value on Gadsden, over Jaden Reed, who I think most people prefer. But we'll grab Shakir here. Who Ames is at 11%, but generally looking for a receiver. Yeah, I like that pocket here. I've said this before. This Godwin, Wandale, Shakir, Reed, Coker pocket. I think one of those is going to be, at least one of those is going to be highly fantasy relevant, and is just like a place where I would like to be adding a receiver above most other things available. And again, now we get to running back. You have this Marks, JCM. I don't take either of these. I think Woody Marks is going to revert to being just a satellite back, which might have some fantasy value, but we're still drafting him, I think, way too high for what that role will be in JCM, who I personally think they're going to just, he is not going to have the role he had last year, in my opinion. I could be wrong, in which case I'll wish I had more of him, but I don't think he looked great. They don't have a ton of draft capital in on him. And I think there are a lot of extinction level ads that the Commanders are live to do. Kevin here, he takes Malik Willis, one of my favorite QB options. I think he's a ton of fun. The steam, the smoke of Malik Willis to Arizona is rising. So certainly something to look out for. I had really wanted him in Miami, but the cap realities of that are starting to make me think that is not altogether that likely of a scenario. By the way, I did update the ticker, so this is the latest mock draft from PFF for those curious. I only put fantasy relevant players, so there's not going to be any defensive players in here because I think most people here aren't too fussed about that. All right, let's see. What do we want to do? We are back on the clock. Yeah, Woody Marks and Krosky Merritt are here. Interested to see. I'm going to risk it to take Fergie with Dak. I need a tight end. I hope Emmett Johnson comes around. I know hope is not a strategy, but I kind of like Fergie. Get a little bit of a Dallas double here. In the ideal world, we'll get Emmett Johnson. I already kind of hate that I passed on him because I don't mind going 3 late tight ends, but let's just see if we can't pull it off. I was hoping that Marks and Krosky Merritt would be enough insulation to prevent that. If not, we'll see what we get. Yeah, I should have just taken Emmett Johnson. That's okay. That is fine. That is fine. But yeah, I don't think I played that. I think I prioritized the stack a little more for someone who really needs to get that running back production. And I think Emmett Johnson is one of the bigger swings here. So perhaps a small misstep by me there, but that's okay. Don't want to have Emmett Johnson on every single team. I like Romeo Doubs. I think he's apt to rise when he signs. So now what do we do? What do we do? I will take James Conner here. I'll take James Conner in this range. We'll go with the veteran. We'll see where he ends up. I think a lot of these bets are similar. Tempted to take Tyrone Tracy. You know, he does go with the little mini Giants thing I have with Neighbors. If you think it's more of a committee or stat comes on slow or just pure contingency. There's Tracy. Trey Benson and Connor, I think we're very unsure what to do with the Arizona backs, so we're drafting them kind of back-to-back, similar to what we do with the early rookie receivers where people just can't really parse them apart, so they're just taking them back-to-back there. So we'll go with James Conner. We've got Josh Allen, Dak, and then Ramondre Tower, Algier, Rico Dowdle, James Conner, C.D. Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, Mekhi Lemon, Khalil Shakir, and Jake Ferguson. Hey, B-Spurf, GM to you. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Appreciate you so much for coming in, hanging out. Aylin, well, two folks' brains I greatly respect, so I'll have to get, well, I appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say. That's so nice of you to say. But yeah, I will say that there are people that I respect that are just out on Shakir and think it's the most, 8.3 fantasy point, click and half point PPR. But again, I think we've run a little cold. I think we've run a little cold in the touchdown department for him. Also, by the way, if you can like the stream, sub to the channel, all these things help so much. We are getting closer every day to our goal of 500 subs. Don't know what I want to do for it. I'd love to do something, but we will have to figure that out. And then beyond, because we're going to be streaming all winter, spring, summer, and then guess what? We'll be trying to qualify for the Dog Bowl again. So it doesn't stop. It truly doesn't stop. All right, let's see what Frank 2 Raw does here. Put the board up. People can see what's going on. Krosky Merritt fell almost a full round in this particular draft. He takes Troy Franklin. Interesting. Click 151. So I love Josh Downs. I think Josh Downs is a great click, so I'm going to take him. I would have liked to have taken Josh Downs and then maybe Danny Dimes at the wrap. But again, I'm fine if this ends up being a 2 QB team. I feel like my wide receiver room is very strong here with Lamb, Neighbors, Wilson, Bakai Lemon, Shakir, and Downs. Could even stop this with 6 wide receivers. I will likely add a 7th, but I think it's time now to start loading up on some running backs for me. All right, let's see. Mike Robb says, before I say I respect you, I need to know your stance on whether mint is a candy. Well, okay. I mean, mint, the herb, I think is clearly not a candy. If you're talking about like an Andes Thin Mint, yes, that's a candy. If you're talking about like a breath mint, like an Altoid, I don't know. That's kind of a weird. I never thought about that before. I don't want to just like fire off a take of something of this magnitude without thinking about it. I would say no. But again, if you're talking about like a mint flavored, like an Andes mint kind of thing, I would say yes. That to me is a candy. All right. Let's see. I'm going to take Sharbs on this team because I think late season Charbonnet could be valuable. Hopefully we can get by early enough for him to come back. But if Ken Walker leaves, Charbonnet could have value. I don't love that his timeline is moved later and later. But I think on a kind of a 0-ish RB team, I'll take a Charbonnet share. I have seen him fall quite a bit, but I don't think he would have made it all the way to the wrap. But he is a guy who I think is going to move from round 14 to 15. So we will see. Tiger Uppercut, chocolate mint is delightful. Yeah, for sure. To Michael Way, first of all, GM to you. Appreciate you so much for coming in, hanging out. Can the kids have them in the morning? No. Can I eat 50 and not feel bad? Yes. Can they get that? 50 mints? I think I'd feel awful if I had 50 mints. 50 Altoids, I don't even know what would happen. Probably nothing good. Kevin says, why should we think Joe Brady's not going to make Shakir the alpha in his 3rd year coaching with the Bills? I assume you mean this in a pro Shakir stance. I don't know though. Mike Robb respects the stance and thought. Hey, thanks, Mike Robb. I appreciate that. Tiger Uppercut says, I took a Thai cooking class years ago, and this instructor said mint is a good substitute for cilantro if you're serving someone who can't eat cilantro. You know what's funny is I get the soap fully. I'm a soap person, but I'm not like, I try not to be like annoying about it, but it can't be what people who like cilantro like. So I don't really know what the intended flavor is, but if it's anything like mint, then I see why people are putting cilantro in things. But I get that like weird, like there's soap in my mouth flavor from it. So that's good to know. Who aims? Mint thing was my poll question the other day. We might have oh no. All right, what do we want to do? You know what? I'm actually going to scroll down and take Bigsby because I think I need Bigsby more than a tight end 2 here. I don't think I've gone live since the Joe Mixon report came out where the GM does not know if he had surgery or not. Doesn't seem good. I'm not going to take any more Mixon for a while. I got overweight on him. I wish I wasn't, because that seems really quite terrible right now. So not good stuff. Not good stuff happening. Not good stuff happening there. So we're going to pass on Mixon on this team. I think I'll add Nick. I think I'll add a Nick Singleton share on this one. Another injured player here to add to Charbonnet, but maybe we're getting a little bit of an injury discount because he's not going to be able to run at the combine. I do think he's meant to be ready for the start of the season, but you do have to worry with rookies how quick they can get involved coming off of injury when they miss, training camps and OTAs and mini camps and all that stuff. So Singleton, to me, he's kind of on the fringe of that talent level where you worry. I mean, Judkins, if you remember, Judkins was had that suspension, or he wasn't suspended, but that murky legal situation, and it was like, oh, it's going to take weeks to ramp up, and he was like on the field within like a week or two, even having missed the whole offseason. Now that, of course, was a first round talent there we're dealing with. Singleton, I don't think he ever projected that high, so we'll see. We'll see how much of the offseason stuff he misses and how quick he gets involved. But anyway, he was a guy we were taking, 3-4 rounds higher than that. And again, on a team where we are behind at running back, trying to take some of those, get some of those discounts, I think makes sense. Hartman, GM to you. Appreciate you so much. Hope you're having a great day. Mazone, refusing to take a potentially controversial stand on is Mint Candy, and you're trusting him to help you decide between Rico Dowdle and Tony Pollard. No, that stuff's easy. People will get really fired up about food takes. Who Ames almost had a mutiny. I can't have that here. At least the the Dowdle truthers, they're going to be more reasonable. All right, what do we want to do here? What do we want to do? All right, let's take one more rookie running back. We'll take Mike Washington. So we're gonna have 8 running backs. I think this is gonna be a weird build, but that's okay. Maybe taking Fergie there enabled us to just stop at 3 tight ends on this team. I think this is going to be a 2-8-7-3 team. Don't build a ton like that, but again, I think our wide receiver room is pretty good here, to where we're not going to need to add too much. I'll put Stowers ahead of Cade, but I think that will be my next pick here, and we can take one of the very late wide receiver options if we need to. All right. Keep the board up. There goes Aaron Rodgers. Shadur gets drafted here. We do have one person with 1 quarterback. Frank Turaw took 4 quarterbacks. I noticed earlier. He went Herbert, Stafford, Mayfield all in a row, and then took Mendoza. So that's the world that we live in. People hyper aggressive with the quarterbacks. All right, 1 second. All right. Michael Wave, we do Tic Tac. Michael, I have not had a Tic Tac in like 25 years. I'm shocked. I feel like Tic Tacs were like really big in the 90s. Like everyone had Tic Tacs in that little like compartment next to your door. What do you call that? The little like, it used to be like where the ashtray went, but the little thing in the side of your car door, that little compartment there. Every single driver's side door used to have a come stock with a Tic Tac thing in there, and I don't think we still do that. Mike says, "Who Hames?" That question has thrown my week for a loop. Yeah, just throw in the best ball world into a tizzy. Yeah, who Hames agrees. You kind of know, right? You kind of know. I missed Kevin, what you're referring to. FYI, 40 votes had 60% mints or candy. I suspected the mints aren't candy crowd much louder than the people who think they are. I mean, I see the argument. Candy also implies something that you're like tempted to keep eating. There's sort of like a, oh, I want to have these. They taste really good, but like I don't want to have like 25 Tic Tacs. Like that's like way too many Tic Tac for a different reason than I don't want to eat like 25 Crunch bars. Like I like Crunch bars. I like Butterfinger bars. I know I'll get sick if I have that much. I probably won't get sick with 25 Tic Tacs, but like, oh, I don't. That's just too many Tic Tacs. IMKY says you can't just name a flavor and say, is it candy? Yeah, there we go. Saffron, is it candy? Alind 121, to clarify, when we say mints, we're referring to the dusty circles with those painted red stripes in the glass bowl at checkout counter. Alind, I know, where are you that they still have those? I feel like with COVID times, any communal candy has been unwrapped. Communal candy has been abolished. I mean, it stinks. We've missed it. The country you grew up in no longer exists. But I feel like communal candy bowls are rare. Same with like the beer nuts at bars. You can't just have people reaching in with their grubby hands anymore. The times have changed. Speaking of grubby hands, let's get our grubby hands on deep into the well of late round picks. We'll queue up Jeremy Bernard, who I like here. We'll take Jeremy Bernard and then one of these tight ends. Could it be Firemouth? Maybe. Should we have taken him there? Possibly, because, I mean, this guy has 5 tight ends. This guy to our right has 5 tight ends. Holy moly. Madness. What did he do? The 12 hole went Kincaid, Hunter Henry, AJ Barner, Njoku, and Stowers. Really annoying because I kind of wanted Stowers, and it was his 5th tight end. I mean, my God, people. What are we doing? Michael Trigg goes, so one of the disciples of Nez is making themselves known here. All right, let's see. We don't get Firemouth by 1 pick. All right, we'll take Justin Jolly, I think, on this particular team. I think we'll take Justin Jolly. So, for the audio listeners, this team, a 2-8-7-3 team, not going with the orthodoxy. That's A-okay. Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, running backs of Ramondre, Algier, Rico Dowdle, James Conner, Zach Charbonnet, Tank Bigsby, Nick Singleton, and Mike Washington Jr. Wide receiver room of CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, Mekhi Lemon, Khalil Shakir, Josh Downs, and Jeremy Bernard. In tight end of Fergie, Cade Otton, Justin Jolly. I don't mind this team. It's not my favorite team ever, but it's one where we got a little uncomfortable. We employed some 0 RB strategies. We took a couple guys who might come on slowly. Hopefully with our first 4, it's possible if Algier and Dowdle, if they're week 1 starters somewhere, these are guys that could go 20, 30 picks ahead of where they're going now. So I actually feel like for a 0 RB team, not too bad. Stopping at 2 QBs, not in vogue, but, Allen and Dak certainly candidates for trying to pull it off. All right, let's see. Mints are candy and birds are Beastburf. I agree with everyone having TikTok. I know what happened, Beastburf. They were everywhere. And I remember playing with the lid of a Tic Tac thing, as a kid all the time, because they were always there. Who aims when you eat a peppermint candy, their actual name, do you let it dissolve or bite into it? I don't think I'd let it dissolve, but we might be talking about different things. I think I'd just eat the candy. Orange Tic Tacs or candy says I'm not a big orange flavor fan. It's not my favorite, so I don't know if I've had an orange Tic Tac again in even longer than a normal Tic Tac. Tyler, do you think they give out candy canes in prison? No, they shouldn't. Candy canes are easily formed into a harpoon. Hard pass. And candy canes are low-key disgusting. Not great. Beastburf, King Leo mints are super. I'm not familiar with King Leo mints, but I bet it has a lion. If it doesn't have a lion, they should. Best ball and call snuck in for number 17. Hey, yeah, let's get the 17 likes. We can do better. We can do better, people. Purple Yosh, GM to you. Appreciate you so much for coming in, hanging out. Let's see what our friends did before we get out of here. But yeah, please, hit the like, hit the sub. All right, and I'll do another draft. I'm trusting you guys, though. 3683 from Jasper. Caleb, Shuck, and Gino. I saw the sidekick recommending Gino at the end. Gino is such a tough click for me, but there are people who say he's going to start and people who are smarter than me. So there we go. Bijan, Jadarian Price, Gainwell, Braylon Allen, Sean Tucker, Claiborne. Kind of a fun room. I like the Jadarian Price and Gainwell picks quite a bit. Olave, AJ Brown, McLaurin, Burden, Addison, Ridley, Zachariah Branch, Io Manor, and then Warren, Juwan Johnson, and Colby Parkinson. Yeah, no notes. I like this team. I think it's fun. I mean, the only quibble I have is I don't like Geno, but if he's a starting quarterback, I can't ever say getting a starting quarterback at pick 240 is bad. So there you go. 3, 5, 8, 4 for our friend Kevin. Bo Nix, Malik Willis, Cam Ward, Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, Judkins, Tootin, Ollie, Gordon. So kind of a, I think in normal BBM, this would have been kind of hyper fragile because he's got four strong running backs, and then, 20 rounds adds on an Ollie Gordon, Rashee Rice, Watson, Ricky Pearsall, Pittman Jr., Matthew Golden, Brandon Ayuk, Shamir DK, and Marvin Mims. So a lot of locker room issues on this team. You've got Ayuk and Rice there. Hopefully that works out. But we think Ricky Pearsall, I think he commands enough respect to play peacemaker in there. So a very strong running back room. And then Fergie, Taylor, Tonjes, and Chig. Kevin famously, though, for those who don't know, is a big Jake Tonjes bull. I am a Jake Tonjes bear, but I don't really want to argue about pick 115 because, frankly, it doesn't matter that much. But he does like Jake Tonjes quite a bit. I think the Niners are live to replace him quite easily. All right, let me hop in another draft. Appreciate y'all drafting with me there. Waiting for 10. All right. First of all, hope there wasn't an underflow. Secondly, if you want to get in, this is going to be all friends and family. So hop on in. Appreciate you so much, Purple Yosh. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. Who aims? Hot take: candy canes disgusting from can. You know what? My wife and I were discussing that each holiday has a disgusting candy attached to it. You have off the rip Valentine's. They have those terrible chalky nightmare candies. Easter, you have Peeps, which are gross. Halloween, some people get really upset, but candy corns are pretty nasty. The only candy corn hack is put them in the fridge and they're palatable, but like room temperature candy corn, disgusting. Christmas has candy canes, which candy canes are gross. Like I want a candy cane for about 9 seconds, and then I'm like, this is plenty. This is plenty. So I don't know what happened, but each holiday, a lot of major holidays have some awful candy associated. Yes, a huge plot point. They say that he dug his way. I don't want to give any Shawshank spoilers, but yeah, the candy cane incident. Psychedelic Curse, GM to you. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Appreciate you so much for coming in, hanging out. Yeah, you're destabilizing the chat, Mike Rob. So appreciate you bringing the candy discussion. Who aims? It says, by the way, I'm putting together a pre-draft mock. I think you'd be. I would love to see it. Who aims? I'm excited for that. We'll have to check that out. Greg says, I really hate how much I thought about the mint debate. That's what I'm saying. It is an herb, but I think I assume there is more to it than that. Ultimate White Male, I think I'm at 105 draft, something like that. Tiger Uppercut Passover has the worst candy. I don't know which. I imagined. I don't know how much yeast is involved in candy making, but I'm pretty sure that's out for Passover. So I don't know. The birthday cake Peeps are low key fire. I don't know about that. I don't know. Purple Yosh hates Peeps and chalk, but I like the candy cane. If someone's got to like the candy canes, someone's got to like the candy canes. But again, I like them initially, but I can't imagine getting through an entire candy cane. Well, that's just so sweet, so much sweetness. All right, this room though. Let me check the room. Let me roll through chat though. Blueless is in here. Shady Advice himself at the 4. Oh dear God. Sweet Leaf in here at the 5. Beast for 6. Myself at the 7. Jasper, our new friend here at the 10. Mr. Grandy at the 12. If anyone else is in here, let me know. But appreciate y'all so much for drafting. Make sure to like and sub. We see Sweet Leaf pulls up A-Chain. So our first ADP move here, JSN goes, we'll just take Jonathan Taylor, pull up the board. People can see what's going on. And off we go, off we go. William says the mint debate has gotten to people, which means 100%. People have their strong takes. Beastfurf agreeing with the candy take. Thank you, Beastfurf. Thank you. Greg says mint's falling under peppermint. Peppermint is an OG candy flavor back to the 16th century. All right, we got Willy Wonka in the chat here with the candy flavor, knowledge here. When did the show get so political? Yeah. This is leave the candy discussion for MSNBC. Exactly. The State of the Union, I don't know if they touched you could probably on Kalshi get mint at plus like 1200 to get mentioned. I don't know if it would have hit though. Skittles candy canes saved candy canes. So I'm just gonna choose to believe that, even though that doesn't sound right to me, Psychedelic Curse, but Skittles candy canes. I have to say I don't like Skittles for 1,000 reasons. I don't think they taste good, and they fuse to your molars. Like, how do you not bite it? And then you bite into one and then it just like sticks and you gotta stick your finger in your mouth. It's horrible. I don't want to do that. That's not great. All right, so someone was asking about the Sidekicks Elite. I think it was Who Hames were you asking? It is recommending McBride over Omari and Hampton, and in typical fashion, we're going to ignore that and we're going to take Omari and Hampton. Who Hames says you buy the mini candy canes because the large 100%. Caddy Kev overdosed on candy corn about 40 years ago. Yeah, I could see that happening. They're just not good. They're just not good. Greg says I had to look it up, made me change my position. Yeah, there we go. A derivative of the one of the OG candy flavors. M. Stockton says, as a member of the sicko community, how safe is it on 1 to 10 to be drafting teams in January and February to have a sweat in December and 11? Yeah, I mean, I am glad they bifurcate these contests from the post draft, because there are so many unknowns, and even it's going to change post combine and then free agency. I think 2 weeks from today, if I'm not mistaken, free agency opens, and stuff is going to change radically then. So we're risking a lot here drafting now. Aylin, fantasy punishment for Chad finishing an entire candy cane. Well, yeah, that would be tough. I mean, I could do it. I wouldn't be very happy. And no one wants to watch me eat a candy cane on stream. I think I would turn that off. That doesn't sound enjoyable for anyone. Kicks, agree about with you about Skittles candles. Yeah. See, I mean, people are agreeing with these takes because they're correct. Who Ames, are you going to do any 3-man $1,060 drafters winner take all best balls? I will not be participating in that, Who Hames. That is that's a lot. That is a lot. Oh, the machine wants Rashee Rice. Do we take Rice? You know what? I have not taken Rashee Rice since the news. I'm going to grab a Rashee Rice share. He's not going to come back to me at 42. I'll take him here. You know what? I say that I might have actually taken him at the turn. I can't remember now. I was drafting yesterday. I was on the turn, and he was either about to get to me or I got to him. I really can't remember. But we'll take a Rashee Rice share, see what happens. So we got Taylor, Hampton, Rice. Let's check in on nobody doing anything too weird. You see Shady Advice. He's got a receiver, running back with Chase, Nico, and Jacobs. Nobody is going. I guess the only pure position so far is the one hole who's going Bijan, Chase Brown, Bucky Irving. So he's the only one with just one position so far. So kind of interesting there. We're going to be in probably fertile ground for a receiver, but we'll see what comes around to us. Yeah, Who Ames? That's nuts. That's for people playing the nosebleed stakes there. I don't do much. I don't really like the 3-man contests in most things. Like I've never really been into that. I know people on like DraftKings do, again, the really high dollar people do those 3-mans. I've never been a party to that action myself. All right, we're gonna take our guy Scat here. I think you could argue maybe Javante is the safer bet. The sidekick thinks that, but I'll you know what? We're gonna live our truth, and we'll take our guy Cam Scatabo and leave. Throw Javante back to the river for someone else to try to take. As a sicko, I'm not sure there's much we would want. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, hopefully this is a good year, right? Well, let's think about the punishments for the other people, not for ourselves getting punished, because we're gonna win this year. Oh, people are gonna just gift Shady. Shady's gonna get gifted Javante. And we're gonna see him just windmill in this pick here from the top of the sidekick. Oh my gosh, he gets to go receiver, and get away with it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm waiting. Yeah, there it is. There's the Javante pick. So there we go. Who aims? My stream, Rice went at 142. Oh my gosh. Well, there we go. There we go. That said, like, I'm thinking how my draft would be different. So if I would have taken Kyron, let's say that did happen, I would have Kyron and Rice instead of Scatabo and Rice. So it's not like a humongous difference getting him there, but they're, I think most people have Kyron pretty well ahead of Scat right now. So might have to try to push him. Yeah, no, I meant 42. I did not mean 142. I read that out loud wrong. But yeah, pick 42. The man drafts are known as the Devil's Triangle. 3-man drafts are known as the Devil's Triangle. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, like you're gonna get ganged up on. Doesn't seem good. All right, let's see. Nothing too crazy. Let's see what Shady Advice does. He thinks about it. Sidekick thinks about it. I think it's gonna be Judkins here, but we'll see. No, he takes Carnell Tate. Okay, interesting. We'll see what the machine recommends to us versus what we do. There goes Burden. Curious. Let's see what Beastburf's up to. Tough decision for me. He takes Swift. It is interesting. The machine is recommending a 4th running back versus one of these receivers. All right, machine. Let's do it. We'll take 4 running backs here. So we got Jonathan Taylor, Omarion Hampton, Cam Scatabo, Quinn Sean, Judkins. So we're going to try to make up ground at receiver later with Rashee Rice as our sole receiver. So if Rashee Rice is suspended, we are in absolutely brutal shape here. All right. We have one guy going anchor running back here. So we got a CMC and then Neighbors, Tet, Garrett Wilson, Lemon. Just looking at what other people are doing. The drafter next to him, same thing. He's got Kyron with 4 receivers. Lamb, London, Kyron, Flowers, Watson. Not too surprised they didn't take a running back there, though, because there are none. If you look at the board, it's completely bereft of running backs all the way to ADP 71 in this range. So it's it can be tough. It can be tough on the right side of the board if you don't lock up 2 or 3 before. You're basically forced into that next tier of running back. And then the other thing that can happen is around pick 84, 85. I think there's another mini gap at running back, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you have Monungai, Pollard, and then like Hubbard, Corum. You got to pull one of them up if those 2 are gone. So you can end up kind of in a weird spot. We kind of ran into that spiral with our last draft, as you all saw. So just something to think about. I think we did okay with the last one, but opinions vary. Jordan Tyson has been plummeting from the news that he will not be running the 40 at the combine. Chalking some of that up to hamstring recovery. Don't love that. Don't love that when a guy with injury concerns is now missing combine stuff due to injury concerns. The machine wants us to take Mike Evans. You know what? I'll take Mike Evans. I know I'm light on him. I worry about him falling off the age cliff. But if he signs somewhere, and I know in chip chasing they were talking about him like as a cromulent Buffalo Bill, he could end up rising quite a bit. I do equate him a little bit to like Devontae Adams, where I think he might still have a lot of value even later in his career, but we'll take him there. Who aims more concerning to me that Lemon isn't participating fully healthy. I missed that. Who aims? Is that right? I thought Lemon was running. No. That's a shame if he's not. Turns out if you type lemon combine, Twitter thinks I want to combine lemons, which I don't. I don't want to do that. So he'll do position drills. That's annoying. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, yeah, if you can see, because it's hard for me. It's not the easiest Twitter search, because I'm getting like lemon juice recipes on Twitter, and I do not want to ignore. I don't want to ignore chat and all of you for that. All right, let's see. Fannin goes. All right, what do we need to do? Probably another wide receiver, unless we get some kind of terrific value at quarterback, which I don't think we are here. Oh, I meant to do this also. We'll switch it up. Switch it back to night driving. Try to switch the music for each draft. The machine wants us to take Mahomes. I think it's a little early to have to do that. Probably not going to get him on the turn in a stream draft, because these drafts are so QB heavy. But gosh, it really wants me to do it. I don't think I want to do that. All right, I'll take a Parker Washington here. I could see Alec Pierce though continue to move up. I think he was in the 80s. He is going to rise quite a bit when he signs, whether that's with the Colts and then Pittman leaves or he moves elsewhere. But I think he's going to move up quite a bit. Who aims is seeing position drills, nothing about a full participant. Okay. Yeah, that was what my quick scan saw, was that he was going to do position drills. But we'll see. We will see. There goes Sam Laporta, Tucker Kraft going. Would be awesome if we could get Mahomes here. Everyone does have one quarterback, so we'll see. Oh, Jared Goff goes. I saw purple and thought it was over. We'll see. None of these people have any Chiefs. I mean, I guess there's no one you would have at this point other than Rashi Rice. So we'll see if we do get him. Maybe No, we don't. Oh no, another sidekick is freaking out. If you click on a name that's not there, you can activate infinite scroll. All right, so we don't get that. That's okay, but I think I would prefer Pittman here to. I think I'd prefer Pittman. No, you know what? We prefer Pitts. We'll take our Kyle Pitts share. I don't know why he hasn't risen. It doesn't make any sense. His ADP is nonsense. I think the breakout is finally here, and he's going, he's going to be back in Atlanta with Stefanski, who made Kyle Fannin a household fantasy name. I don't understand it. I know we've all been burned by touching the pit stove year after year, but I think it's happening. Williams Lemon doesn't even need to run a super fast 40 to be fine. Like a 4.55 would be more than enough. Yeah, the problem is now, like, these players, they hear or they have good word that they're locked into a certain draft range, and it's all downside from running at the combine. So why would you? I get it. It stinks for us as people who consume this content and enjoy and really enjoy it. Beast Burf, if I was these wide receivers, I don't participate either. Only gonna exactly. But frankly, I like the ones that do because they're saying I have something to prove. Like I love that attitude. Like I want to go out and run a blazing fast 40. Like just show the world that I am him. Who aims? I thought Lemon looked slow on tape, and the 40 time doesn't matter for receiver, which is we have seen that time and time again. All right, yeah, we would have loved to have had Mahomes here because then we could have double stacked Kansas City, Jadarian Price, Rico Dowdle, a bunch of receivers here. Let's try to put some pressure on the room here. To our right are a bunch of people that need running backs. I think if we take Dowdle, we can really back off of running back. We can just add one late. We got Jonathan Taylor, Omarion Hampton, Scatavo, Judkins. Now we got Dowdle. I could even stop at 5 here. I generally won't in a 20 round draft just because I like some of the real late darts, but now we have some flexibility there. And again, I think to our right is potentially going to have some issues there. Some of our drafters. And I think I still can get a receiver I like in this range. Quarterback is going to be interesting, but we'll figure that out when the time comes. We're not going to panic just yet. Hey, Steven, GM Chad. Hey, GM to you, Steven. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Appreciate all you doing it. Appreciate all the likes and subs. It means a ton to me that y'all are hanging out on this wonderful Wednesday morning. I think I'm only going to be able to run this draft today. I'd like to do 3, but I think today might be a 2 draft day, unfortunately. So here, like we said, we see Emmett Johnson. He gets pulled up to 110. Maybe forcing some people to get a little less comfortable, and they would be. But I will be happy with someone in this receiver range. Jaden Reed goes. I prefer Wandale or Shakir to Denzel Boston. I don't think I agree with the sidekick that I want Kincaid in this team where I have Kyle Pitts. So I'll take Wandale. Again, another chance to rise. If he moves on from the Giants and gets paid big money, I can see him rising. But I'm also more than happy if he stays and is the number 2 with Neighbors, Dart, and kind of offense that we want pieces of. I don't think we're too worried about I think their defense is going to be improved, but I don't think they're going to be anything where we're super worried about every being in a lot of bad game scripts for the passers. Plus we have Scat on this team, so there we go there. All right, let's check in on some friends and family. Shady Advice, Chase, Nico, Jacobs, Javante, and then Tate, Drake May, Ramondre, Steph Diggs, David Montgomery, and Juwan Jennings. So he gets a little Patriots situation here with May, Stevenson, and Diggs. B-Spurf, he's got a 2-4-3-1. JSN, McBride, and then Brees, Travion, and Swift. Tyson, Dart, QJ, Love, and Krosky Merritt for him. Jasper, he's going Genty, Love, AJ Brown, Ladd, Daniels, and then 4 receivers and Odunze, Pierce, Myers, Worthy, and then adds Tyler Shuck to the mix. Yeah, Kevin asks the question that unfortunately is on all our minds. Are you familiar with Matt Nagy? Yeah, that's not great. And it's also not great that the first thing they basically said was, well, if he's bad, then Harbaugh can fire him. It's like, oh, that is not what you want to hear. That is not what you want to be at. Like, if this doesn't work out, we'll move on. Like, well, why are we talking about that? Why are we already planning for this not to work out? That doesn't seem great. So we'll see. Mr. Brad, Wandale might be the only Giant I like at cost. Neighbors already hurt. Scat and Dart the most injury prone at position with no discount. Yeah, we're not getting discounts, are we? I thought we'd get more of a discount on some of those guys, and I agree with you that we're not. I'm gonna just grab Sam Darnold. I cannot get locked out at quarterback. I can't do a 2 QB team. I think with this build, I think that would be bad. So we'll take Darnold here. See what happens. Just looking. I'm looking at my options. Okay. All right, I'll pull the board back up. People can see what's going on. Who says at least they have good help for Nagy. Yes. But we it's like he was also in Kansas City and wasn't very good. So the problem might not be the help. I think the problem is with Matt Nagy, but we'll see. I do have faith in Harbaugh. I think he'll be okay. I think it'll be all right. But yeah, it's not the most comfy situation in the world here. So there goes Stroud. Let's see if Curly takes one of these quarterbacks. He doesn't. So do we want Mendoza or Malik Willis? I'll let the sidekick break this tie, and I'll take Mendoza. With the word that Gino is out. I don't think that does anything we didn't know, but I guess some people thought maybe there would be some level of competition. I don't know. I never bought that, and I don't think Mendoza's rising at all. But it has turned Gino into someone people are taking. Mr. Brad, Evans might be your only wide receiver projecting for more than 10 half PPR points week 1. Don't worry, Mr. Brad. Don't worry, Mr. Brad. We got this. And Rashee Rice is going to be fine. He's going to play. And I don't understand the Parker Washington haters. I think he's good. And I think the Jags think he's good. And we were debating in Davis's Slappy Central Discord endlessly about Travis Hunter yesterday. And man, I don't want to rehash the whole thing. We already had a really great discussion on a positive note with the mint. The chatter about Travis Hunter was evoking very raw emotions for people. I will say that. I'm of the view that I'm just not taking him because I think you're taking a cornerback. The TLDR is I don't buy the argument that he has contingent upside if a wide receiver gets hurt. I don't think they just plug Travis Hunter back in. I think all you're doing then is you're sacrificing one of your corners, which is a harder position to replace. It's harder to muck with your defense mid-year than get wide receivers, up to speed. And I don't think they want him playing like all that much two ways. So I think you're buying a bunch of by the way, Daniel Jones is a snap, I think is a snap call here with Taylor. Let's lock up the Colts offense and just move on there. No worries about getting a super late quarterback. None of these receivers I'm like super fussed if I miss out on. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm pretty bearish on Travis Hunter's fantasy value in 2026. Me and Muggin, would you rather have Kyler or Willis? Oh, Willis. We've seen Kyler. Kyler's been in the position to succeed for like years and years, and he's hasn't been I don't mean to box score watch, but look at his like fantasy numbers. They stink. He never puts up big numbers. Like he doesn't run anymore. Since the ACL stuff, he doesn't run. I don't know. I don't think he's very good. I don't think he's a very good fantasy quarterback. I take very, very little Kyler. I don't like it. Who says Parker's difficult for him to get at cost, and on DK pick 58. Full PPR, much different, crazy. I can't take Parker before Evans. Yeah, I don't know. I like Parker this year, and I do think Evans has a certain amount of like dust ball risk attached to him, but we'll see. Wow, this is a gross range, and it's only getting worse because I think I'm about to click Jerry Jeudy. But I mean, God willing, the quarterback situation improves in Cleveland. We'll just say that. So not beating the allegations of no one projecting for more than 10 half PPR points week 1, taking Jerry Jeudy. That said, I think this is more of a bet on talent and hopefully an improving circumstances, although why Cleveland fired Stefanski, I simply will never know, when I do not think he was the problem. To Michael Wave, he's definitely a cornerback with the emergence of Parker Washington. Not sure if you're being facetious there, but I think that's the way it's trending, is that he's going to play a lot more corner than receiver, and they'll have a few packages. But I think this pipe dream that he's going to somehow work his way back into like full-time receiver, I'm not buying it right now. They got Myers, Washington, and BTJ. Yeah, exactly. Like I think it just got too crowded. And if one of them gets hurt, I don't think they say, oh, well, our cornerback 1 is now going to play on offense. Now we need to replace a corner. That sounds not great. Williams, I was taking a chunk of Parker early. I've only started doing DraftKings last couple of days, and everyone said it was softer, and it's really sweaty. Like the drafts are virtually identical to here. It is not easier right now. Williams, I guess he's still there. Never mind. I checked him at 7.5, so I am taking him. All right, there we go. Solved. I'm glad to hear it, because I don't not want to have Parker Washington. I mean, the Jags offense is something I want parts of. And I say that as like a tootin' fader, so maybe I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but yeah, I do want as much of that as I can reasonably get. All right, let's see. All right, we need to slap it up. Let's take our guy Omar Cooper Jr. here. I thought there was a chance this room he would be gone at this pick, but we do have a lot of a lot of reasonable people like Shady and Beastburf here. Shady, for his money, he's added oh god, I was like talking bad about Kyler, and Shady took him. So there we go. Since we checked on Shady, he took Juwan Jennings, Kyler, Kamara, Hunter Henry, Calvin Ridley, and Dalton Schultz. Beastburf has added Krosky Merritt, Tracy Dobbs, Sharbs, Theo Johnson, and Brandon Ayuk. But it makes sense. He has Dart, as I thought. So adding Theo Johnson there. Nice click to see. All right. Let me see. Copy paste late. I have 0 Travis Hunter. Literally 0. I do not have a single share. Who was that Drafters you're referring to? No, DraftKings. DraftKings is super sweaty. It's unbelievable over there right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm drafting at the wrong times. But for those of you who said it was like refreshing compared to Underdog, that was not my experience. Don't love this range of anybody. Let's take a Tesla. We'll buy the year two breakout there. A little bit crowded in Detroit, but he did nothing but score touchdowns. You can't hate that too much. Mean Muggin, I watch you draft Omar Cooper Jr. anytime you turn. Well, yeah. I the more he gets mocked in the first rounds, I think if we can get somebody going in the first round at pick in the 15th round, that's things you used to get 6 years ago in these kind of contests before we've realized how valuable like first round picks can end up being. So I'll just take that. That said, there are people urging caution on Omar Cooper Jr. in particular, like who watch the film and are like, he's fine. But if he gets that draft capital, I do want to have my bags packed here. Mac Nova, that's a great question. How are the next 3 days changing your life? Well, in 3 days from today, we will have Combine Day. We will be, imagine where you'll be. Hopefully, it's watching the Combine. Hopefully, it's watching people running really fast. Hopefully, it's watching guys you have a ton of drafting running really fast. But we're going to see, after that, we're going to get a lot of guys steaming up. we're going to start getting more and more rumors from the combine. So this is your last chance before your next last chance to get some of these players cheaply before they have breakouts at the combine. Don't do midday DraftKings, do evening. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that is a good bit of alpha there from Who Hames. All right, let's see. What do we want to do? What does B-Spurf leave us? My preference here would be Colby Parkinson here as tight end 2 on this team. So let's grab that. Get our second tight end to add to Kyle Pitts. Copy paste laid. How about Calvin Ridley? Thoughts on him since Shady just took him? I have one little board share. I like Ridley. I think he's a good click, but I'm underweight on him. I guess before I get out of here, if people want to see, I can pull up my exposures if people are curious. He's a guy I want more of than I have, though, because he's likely to find a new team. I don't think he's a free agent, but I think he's one of those like massive cap savings moves. So my recollection is that he's going to be gone in all likelihood. But I think he still has something left. He just had a weird injury-plagued year on a completely dysfunctional offense, and he missed the part of the year when the Titans started showing some life. But he did have one good game where the Venn diagram between like awful dysfunctional Titans and I guess those two wouldn't match. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that he had some decent showings. Let me grab, you know what? We're going to do another slappy pick. We're going to take Malachi Fields here. I think in the latest, I've seen him actually mocked in the first in a couple of mocks, which again, surprising. I don't think I believe that, but Malachi Fields has been getting more and more buzz. I think he actually looks pretty good. Talking about PPR Tyler earlier, he did a big film breakdown of Malachi Fields and came away quite impressed with his Notre Dame tape. So I'll take Malachi Fields again on a team where we need to take some swings at running back because we took 4 running backs quite early in this draft and only took Rashee Rice as far as the early picks here. Jake Vinegar, Travis Hunter went in the first round and he's in. Jake Vinegar was in the Slappy Central Wars. We don't need to rehash the whole Travis Hunter discussion. If you like Travis Hunter, if you think pick 150 is free and you don't care and you think it's an upside swing, fine. More power to you. Take all the Travis Hunter you want. I just don't think he's an upside swing because I don't see the path to playing time at wide receiver that the Travis Hunter dead enders see. And if you want to do that, then again, enjoy that click. But I do not think that's the team's plans to use him. And I also don't think he has the contingent upside people are baking in. He's free on DK. Are you talking about Ridley or Hunter? But yeah, I don't mind taking some swings on Ridley. I don't think he's total dust. Who Aims? Copy paste laid. You're showing off your, yeah, exactly. 69 drafts. Very nice. A nice number. Steve Smith has him as a top 5 wide receiver. Are you talking about Fields? Or Cooper? We took both of them. So either way. Steve Smith also had both Indiana wide receiver outside of top 10. Well, hopefully he's right about one and wrong about the other. All right, we're coming up. What do we need to do? Is there any running backs we're really into? Not really. I'll just take Claiborne. I kind of try to mix up these late clicks. I'll take Roman Hemby occasionally. I know some people like where'd he go? Like Adam Randall. I'm a little cooler on that, but again, if you want to mix in some of these late rookies, that is more than okay. We did take a 6th running back, but we just took one of these rookies, and hopefully we can strike some gold there. I don't think I had a need to take a 4 tight ends on a team where we took Kyle Pitts early. So this is going to be a very standard 3-6-8-3 team. Let's check in on how friends and family are winding down their teams. Shady advice. He takes Surratt. Makes sense. The sidekick likes Surratt a lot. Adds Mason Taylor, Gesicki, and Geno. Gino, another name the sidekick has started to push up. Goes 4 tight ends, another sidekick specialty. They have been recommending that. B-Spurf adds Brissett, Io Manor, Mike Washington, and Malik Washington and Michael Trigg. So again, disciple of Nez here, taking Michael Trigg. You heard it here first on this channel, by the way. Michael Trigg's touted by Nez in the chat. So we'll see. We're gonna glom onto credit if Michael Trigg works out, and if not, we will never mention it again. So let's see. We don't get to take Michael Trigg. Justin Jolly is who the sidekick recommends. I prefer Michael Mayer ever so slightly. This is one case where I wish I had my exposure a little more clear. Michael Mayer is either going to be, used a lot in 12 personnel and has some contingent upside with Bowers, or he gets traded and could end up being the tight end 1 somewhere. Former, I think he was a 2nd round pick, but I think that was, anyway, they were generally seemed happy with him, and they took Bowers because who could blame him? So we will see. We will see. Omar is free. My bad. He's not free on DraftKings. He's not free because I have seen him go at pick like 160 over on DK, unless that changed a lot. Copy paste lay. Drafting Travis Hunter as cornerback 1 sounds better as wide receiver 3 to 4. Aylin says, I think a healthy mix of Ridley/Tank Dell tier is part for sure. More than happy to mix those guys in. Caddy Cav, if you listen to the experts, you'd take and fade every player. Well, I hope you just, I do not wish to be part of that. Just take who you want. You know what? Just make sure you're listening to yourself, because at the end of the day, that's all you can do. You got to take the information and accept what you think makes sense. And then if you don't agree, then you don't have to do it. Mac Nova, Trigg and Sadiq are guys being drafted in part because they're freaky athletes, so they both better test that way. Yep. Yeah. I'm a little cooler on Sadiq. I don't love his price. I feel like we're, I guess in the 150s, it's fine, but he does seem a little pricey. Omar was free on DK till about 6 days ago. Oh, boo. So I missed out on the halcyon days of drafting over on DraftKings. But everyone, this was a ton of fun. If you can, please like the stream, sub to the stream. We are 14 subs away from 500. You could be the one that gets us there. You could be part of helping it. But this was awesome. This was truly a great stream. Love the mint discussion. MacNova has 0 Trig. Well, there's still time for you, MacNova. 3 days to change your life, people are saying. But I'm telling you, once we hit 500 subs, we've got all kinds of we got all kinds of plans. We'll definitely need some candle emojis. But I will see all of you tomorrow. We'll see if it's at 8:30 or 9. But either way, we will be live. Steven says Shady took 4 tight end. Yeah, the sidekick recommends 4 tight ends. 4 tight ends a lot. Exactly, MacNova. Williams, even if Trig crushes combine, he's still free. Yeah. Unless we get some kind of like crazy report that everyone's in love with it. We kind of had that happen with Fannin, right? Fannin started to get a little bit of steam. So we could see that happen with one of these, free late tight ends. So, all right, everyone, take care. I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to like, sub, and leave a comment.